You're looking for a new keyboard and you might be deciding between the Akai Mpk Mini Play Mark III and the regular Akai Mpk Mini Mark III. Both keyboards have a ton of similarities, but also some key differences that might determine which keyboard you'd actually get the most use out of. In this video, I'm going to go over all of those similarities and differences, as well as some key features that make the Play worth it and some areas where it falls short, and what you'll be missing out on if you choose one over the other, so you can determine which keyboard is right for you. Let's start with the similarities. Looking at them side by side, we can see they both have 8 pads, an arpeggiator, octave buttons, the full level and note repeat buttons, pitch bend, 25 keys which are both velocity sensitive, a sustain pedal, and obviously both connect to your computer via USB. Even though they both look and function similarly in many ways, there's definitely some big differentiating factors. One of the most notable differences is that the Akai Mpk Mini Play has a built-in speaker and is battery powered, requiring 4 AA batteries sold separately, which allows you to play this keyboard without having to hook it up to a computer. And this is great because the more easily accessible something is, the more likely it is that you'll actually use it. For example, maybe you know that you want to practice your scales, or you're looking for a way to quickly get those creative juices flowing without turning on a computer. And it kind of takes the pressure off of making music. And what I mean by that is, the first time I picked this keyboard up, I wanted to practice some scales, and I was in a very relaxed mood just on the couch, and I actually made a melody that I really liked, even though it wasn't my initial intention to create something. So A+ for helping taking the pressure off to get the creativity flowing. The Play has 2 built-in ways that you can listen to the sounds while you're playing them. You can listen to yourself play through the speakers, or you can plug your headphones straight into the keyboard and jam out. As far as the sounds go, it's got 128 built-in sounds, anything from grand piano to marimba. And it's also got 10 different drum kits in it. The sounds themselves aren't anything special per se, but the built-in effect knobs do help give you some control over tweaking the sounds to something more of your liking. And by the way, these built-in effects on the knobs are perfect for beginners. These type of features will help new producers familiarize themselves with commonly used effects that they otherwise may have been too intimidated to try. Which brings me to my next point. This is a keyboard that beginners can grow with. If you're completely new to music production, you can build up your confidence by using these built-in effects. And once you get comfortable with that, you can then MIDI map some effects within your DAW to the knobs. Now, this keyboard is not without its flaws. So now let's get into what you'll be sacrificing if you get the Akai Mpk Mini Play Mark III versus the regular Akai Mpk Mini Mark III. Most obvious, the regular Akai Mpk Mini Mark III has 8 knobs, whereas the Play only has 4. I know for me, those knobs have really come in handy, especially for live performances when I'm using the knobs to trigger different effects. In fact, the first show I ever played, I heavily relied on those 8 knobs. Also, the knobs on the regular Akai Mpk Mini Mark III are endless encoders, which means you'll have more fine control over your values. Whereas the Akai Mpk Mini Play Mark III has knobs that all have stopping points. This keyboard also has more control over your pads. The pads on the Play are also on the smaller side, which isn't a huge deal for me when it comes to finger drumming, but for a newbie producer, the pads on the regular Akai Mpk Mini might be easier to get the hang of. Some of you might be wondering, if the Akai Mpk Mini Play Mark III has a speaker, then does it also have like a built-in recording or looping thing? And the answer to that is no, unfortunately. Maybe they'll do it in the future, but right now those features are not currently available. So again, even though you don't need a computer to play and listen to the sounds on the Play, you will still need to hook it up to a computer and a DAW in order to record with it. Final thoughts. If you're brand new to music production and you want to make that creative process as easily accessible as possible, I would go with the Akai Mpk Mini Play Mark III. I think the fact that it's battery powered and you can play it anywhere without a computer, I think that's going to encourage you to use it more often. And even though it doesn't have a built-in recording / looping feature in it, it's still pretty awesome for its ease of use and its convenience. But if you're more experienced with utilizing a DAW, I would go with the regular Akai Mpk Mini Mark III, because you will likely benefit more from having those 4 extra knobs than you would from having a speaker on the keyboard itself. However, these are just my humble opinions. Obviously, go with whichever keyboard you would like. I just hope this video helped give you some clarity on figuring out which keyboard is right for you. If you'd like to see some Akai Mpk Mini tutorials, I'll have some right here. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the next one.